Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're essentially stepping into the shoes of a travel vlogger who is discovering what feels like a totally futuristic society in China. We're going to see firsthand how science fiction tech, I'm talking coffee-delivering drones, completely driverless taxis, and wild humanoid robots, is totally transforming everyday human life right now. Almost immediately upon arriving, the vloggers said it felt exactly like they were, quote, living in the future. And honestly, you can see why. But to really understand why daily life feels so radically different there, we have to look at the invisible thread connecting this whole shebang, the foundational software. Think about it. In the West, we are so used to a highly fragmented digital landscape, right? You've got one app for texting, another one for ride sharing, and a totally different one for your banking. But China's WeChat ecosystem is the ultimate all-in-one platform. Our vloggers used it to do absolutely everything. They reimbursed locals, translated menus, and literally ordered a flying drone without ever closing the app. The economic efficiency of just centralizing all these services completely speeds up every single transaction. It's a huge game changer. So let's dive into Section 1, Drones Delivering Morning Coffee. Now, what's so fascinating is how this everyday magic is actually a highly logical, step-by-step sequence. You just stroll up and scan a QR code at a designated park platform. Then, miles away, your order gets loaded onto a drone, which flies a secure box directly to your drop point. You punch in a secret code, and boom, you get your item. This shows us exactly how urban planning is evolving right before our eyes. Cities are actually adapting their physical layouts to include dedicated drone transit hubs right in the middle of public spaces. But the true marvel here? The absolute, astounding reliability. The vloggers got hot jasmine tea delivered straight from the sky. And get this, it didn't spill a single drop. I mean, just think about the logistics and the sheer anxiety of a machine flying hot liquids over a park full of people doing Tai Chi. It's wild. It completely redefines our expectations of convenience and safety when it comes to automated delivery networks. Moving right along to Section 2, the automated shopping experience. Just contrast your typical high-pressure Western car dealership with the automated retail experience you'd find at a Huawei showroom. Instead of awkward haggling with a super pushy salesperson, it feels exactly like walking into an Apple store. You can literally open the doors of a $50,000 car with a simple wave, play around with interactive screens, and just explore entirely at your own pace. Zero pressure. And notice where the vehicle's innovation is actually focused here. We're talking camera-only rearview mirrors, movie mode reclining seats, hidden passenger refrigerators, and completely interactive 3D screens. The manufacturers are shifting the focus entirely away from the driver. They're basically paving the way for a fully autonomous future where your morning commute is just you relaxing in a high-tech mobile living room. Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, Self-Driving in Chaotic Traffic. For just $1 single, you can hail a 10-minute ride in a totally driverless Lexus directly from a smartphone app. That is just incredible. You unlock the door with your phone, the car greets you, and get this, it won't even move an inch until your seatbelt is securely fastened. $1 for on-demand robotic transit represents a massive shift in how affordable, efficient, and accessible city logistics can actually become globally. To truly appreciate the tech, though, consider the intense, totally unpredictable obstacles these vehicles have to navigate without a single human intervention. We're talking cameras and sensors, seamlessly dodging swerving motorbikes, waiting for late pedestrians crossing after the light, and slamming the brakes for aggressive drivers pulling out unexpectedly. It absolutely proves that autonomous transit networks aren't just some theoretical pipe dream anymore. They are safely managing the total chaos of real-world city traffic right now. Let's transition to Section 4, High-Speed Transit and Total Integration. The sheer scale of this infrastructure is honestly staggering. China currently accounts for over 2/3 of the entire global high-speed rail network. That's over 24,000 miles of track. And we aren't just talking about your standard trains here. The Shanghai maglev is literally the fastest regularly scheduled passenger train on Earth, effortlessly gliding at speeds up to 268 miles per hour. But, and this is a big but, there is a significant social trade-off. Seamless, high-speed travel like this requires total data integration. There are zero paper tickets, your physical seat, your app usage, and even your digital food purchases are all permanently linked directly to your passport number. So while it creates an incredibly frictionless, efficient experience, it also normalizes a level of continuous, inescapable tracking that is deeply woven into daily life.
All right, Section 5, mechanical versus humanoid robots.
We experience pure convenience and, honestly, a lot of delight when robotic helpers remain decidedly mechanical and purpose-built. The vloggers saw restaurant food zooming out on little tracks, hotel room service units that actually call your phone when they arrive at your door, remote-controlled robot soccer dogs for just $13, and even a barista arm that prints your own face on a latte. It's incredibly fun and highly functional.
But then, things take a pretty wild turn at a dedicated robot mall in Beijing. It forces us to confront a profound, slightly unsettling question. As these machines enter our daily lives, should they actually look like us?
Because mechanical robots feel practical and safe, right? But highly realistic humanoids, they plunge us deeply into the uncanny valley. The vloggers encountered an Albert Einstein robot teaching physics and automated waitresses with these hyper-realistic details. I'm talking visible veins in their hands and artificial forehead lines. It fundamentally changes the entire dynamic of human connection. When a machine tries to mimic humanity that closely, it kind of stops feeling like a helpful tool and starts feeling like an eerie replacement. There is definitely a distinct societal line where impressive technology stops feeling helpful and simply starts feeling, well, creepy. One of the vloggers perfectly summed it up with this exact thought. And it proves that as cities adapt to these automated networks, human comfort, social interaction, and design psychology are honestly going to be just as important as the underlying code itself. So, as we pack up and leave this futuristic landscape, we really have to ask ourselves, will this incredible blend of extreme automated convenience and total data integration ultimately redefine how the rest of the world lives? We've seen how apps, drones, and robots completely eliminate friction from a typical day. But as our own cities eventually evolve to support these networks, what privacy are you willing to trade for a perfect cup of coffee dropped from the sky? What do you think a typical day in a fully automated city should look like for us?